How's the investigation coming? Must be going well if you're on the case. That's what come on.
Zach, we finally found our can of spinach. Look, Zach, even this vending machine is managed by Clarkson Food Delivery Services. But who in their right mind would sell canned goods in a vending machine in the middle of nowhere? I only hope that it's not expired. Zach, we finally managed to assemble the Taboo Trinity. And it was certainly no small task. I just hope it rewards us with some data that will help us push this investigation forward. Zach, you're a coffee person, right? No sugar, only milk. Yes, I'm completely with you on that one. Come on. It's time to show that pastor the fruit of our labors.
You don't know what you're getting yourself into.
Okay, Pastor. I've brought you your taboo trinity. I'd like to exchange it for a ticket to the goddess.
Oh, how I pity you. You see, my dear lost lamb, our Lord still hungers. One anaconda skin, one squirrel tail, and one pressed white guara. This is what you must bring next.
Are you kidding me?
How pitiful. Our Lord never speaks in jest.
I told you this was gonna be a pain in the butt. Come on, we need to get going.
It looks like we'll need to work harder to get God's attention, Zach. Part of me just wants to say to hell with it and go have a smoke. You know, Patty, I just remembered something. When we met Philip in the sheriff's office, he mentioned your mother. What sort of history does Melvin have with the Clarksons?
What do you mean? The Clarksons know everyone in town, and everyone in town knows the Clarksons. This is Le Carre. That's all there is to it.
Zach, something isn't right here. I just hope the Clarksons don't have anything to do with her mother's illness. That's all I'm concerned about. Either way, the truth will reveal itself to us eventually, just like it always has. Certain countries consider squirrel tails to be wards against demonic powers. Apparently, the tails quiver whenever evil draws near. So when people go out on journeys, they always carry squirrel tails with them. The fresher the tail, the higher its price. This is the Deep South. I feel it every time that molten hot sun pours down on me. Don't you, Zach? Hey Zach, it looks like we were right on the money. Tracing the Sang Rouge distribution route led us right to Louisiana. You know what that means. We've got a hot hand, and Lady Luck's given us far more favor than she ever has before. We just happened to hear news about Lisa's murder while sitting in a bar during our vacation in New Orleans. That certainly wouldn't have happened if we had stayed in D.C. They would have given the case to another special agent, or maybe even to the state, and then we never... Certain countries consider squirrel tails, apparently, so when the fresh... Hey, Zach. No, nothing. Just felt like saying that. Were you thinking about Galena, too? And all the other women we've seen so far on our travels across the states? Zach, I'm right, aren't I? This is a vast country. Incredibly vast. Ripping a squirrel's tail off its corpse is an eye-opening experience, Zack. I don't care if God commanded us to do this, it's pure butchery. But we'll just have to live with it. After all, humans are wild at heart. Found it, Zack. An anaconda skin. And freshly shed from the looks of it. Now let's get a move on before we run into its former owner. What do you think God wants with something like this anyway? Hey Zack, remember this movie? 1997, directed by Luis Llosa. Anaconda, the movie where the famous Jon Voight goes crazy with a rifle. Jennifer Lopez, Eric Stoltz. Even Owen Wilson and Ice Cube were in it. Is that an all-star cast or what? The scene in the beginning where Danny Trejo climbs up a ladder with a pistol in one hand is a must-see. It stole my heart within the first 5 minutes. Okay, back to the real world. We're on an important mission right now, aren't we? Patty, what's that? So you clearly love TV shows, but what about movies?
Movies? We don't even have a movie theater around here, so I can only watch what I manage to catch on TV.
Like what?
For some reason, the only movie channel we get at home is the sci-fi one, so I just watch a lot of sci-fi.
Like what? What's the last one you saw?
The one with Schwarzenegger, where there's all these clones.
The Sixth Day, 2000, directed by Roger Spottiswoode. You must be very well versed in sci-fi if you can appreciate an Arnold S. film.
I thought it was way too easy for them to make more clones, and you'd never see a clumsy investigation like that on CSI.
That's right. It's realistic. Everything about that film is so realistic. It may be difficult for a child to understand. But, Patty, that's not your fault. All of Arnold S.'s films are filled with hyper-realism, you know. On top of that, Roger Spottiswoode is a director who excels in dealing with hardcore subject matter. Turner and Hooch, Stop or My Mom Will Shoot, each film features one of the toughest tag teams you'll ever find. I can see why it's beyond you, though.
No, what I'm trying to say is, Schwarzenegger's character was just a pilot, right? Why was he so strong?
It's okay, Patty. You don't need to try and act like an adult to impress me. I didn't understand the charm of Arnold S. films when I was your age either. You need to take your time and slowly reel the film in. Do that, and Arnold S. will greet you with a big, warm smile.
Whatever, just stop calling him Arnold S., okay? It's irritating me.
Zach, she's at a sensitive age. We both know full well that this is the official way to refer to the film star, but she isn't used to it, so it's bothering her. When in Rome, Schwarzenegger will greet you with a big, warm smile. Zach, my mouth feels weird. How many fingers do you think we'd need to count the number of people who actually call him Schwarzenegger? We'll just have to stomach it for her sake, Zach. Patty, we're investigating here. I think it's about time we cut the chit-chat and got back to work.
What? You're the one who brought it up, and you hardly even let me say anything.
About 3 years ago, I met a man who had a pair of anaconda skin shoes. He said they were a trophy from a snake he hunted and skinned all by himself. Could you kill something and then wear its skin? I fail to see any difference between that and a crazed murderer who carries pieces of his victims home with him. Zach, I never knew that following oracles was such back-breaking work. I really needed this cigarette. I think I'm on the verge of losing my mind. Now we just need to find one pressed white Gora. He was very clear that it had to be pressed. Do they sell pressed flowers in stores here? I think I'm stumped, Zach. Perhaps we better go ask our well-informed concierge for help. Okay, Zack. Let's go talk to our concierge. It'd be impossible for us to find a white Gora all on our own in such a vast area.
Welcome back, Mr. Morgan, sir.
Hello there, concierge. Do you mind if I ask you a question?
How may I help you, Mr. Morgan?
I'm in need of a pressed white Gora. Do you know of a store where I could find one?
The Lord hungers?
Correct.
Jolly good, sir. In that case, please ask our bellboy. His hobby is pressing flowers, so I'm sure he'll be able to assist you. Mr. Morgan, did you find the pressed flower?
No, not yet.
Very well. In that case, please speak with our bellboy. I'm sure he'll be able to help you, sir.
Got a minute, Chef?
What is it, mister? I got my hands full here.
Do you know where I might find a pressed white Gora?
Now, what did I tell you? I'm a professional chef. I don't flap my gums about any old thing. If you want to know about the town, you best ask our concierge.
Well, Bureau man, you ever catch them crooks?
May I ask you a question?
Sure, boss. What's cracking?
I need to find a pressed white Gora.
You like flowers, boss?
Well, not exactly, but it's the will of God.
The Lord hungers, huh?
Excellent, David. Way to cut right to the chase. Do you know where I might find one?
Sorry, boss. We only have one white Gora bush in our garden. Yep.
What's the problem?
Well, yesterday I picked them all and pressed them, see?
That's perfect. Would you mind giving one to me?
Sorry, boss. No can do.
What do you mean?
I used all the pressed flowers I made to decorate a very special spot, see?
What spot?
The bedroom on the first floor.
The bathroom.
Yes, sirree. So, I don't have a single pressed flower left now.
Well then, I'll just go and grab one from the bathroom.
I wouldn't do that if I were you, boss. Taking a pressed flower from a bathroom into church? Ah, Jesus ain't gonna like that. Sorry, but it looks like you're all out of luck, boss. And that's what you can't get, so make sure. Thanks, miss. Next time you get a hand.
Zack, deep south. The white Gora, also known as the whirling butterfly. They certainly look just as beautiful as one. Never thought I'd ever have to pick a flower from a bathroom and deliver it to a church. But he left us no choice. Did he, Zack? God himself commanded us to carry out this very act. Therefore, I'm simply doing as I'm told. My own will has nothing to do with it. We never get to engage in adventures like these while living in the city, do we, Zack? No, the cases of the city are honestly quite boring. Who wants to fish through the garbage for a missing corpse's genitals? Or chase a stray bullet that got lodged into a moving taxi? Talk about stupid. And usually, it's all just a formality so that we can accuse a criminal who's been obviously guilty since day one. If I have to search for something, I'd much rather search for something out here. It's just so much more dramatic. This is the countryside, and it's sensational. You know what I mean, don't you, Zack?
How's the investigation coming? That's what I'm talking. Come on, get in.
Looks like a case of bad timing, Zack. Let's come back later.
heavenly.
He threw away all the Spam, the red beans, and the spinach. I don't believe this. All this time he was only after the cans?
Shh, be quiet, Agent York. He's doing holy work. Just be quiet and watch.
What a fragrant pressed flower. Thank you for this blessing, O Lord.
Yes, Zack. As fragrant as a urinal cake.
Shh! Behold, it is finished. Our Lord is enraptured. Take this, my lambs, and let it serve you.
Just take it, Agent York. Folks say Pastor Sanders' instruments have special powers.
Special powers?
Yes, it is the truth, my lost lambs. Have faith. The Lord guides me to create the perfect instrument for each citizen of our town.
Each instrument's effects differ by person, too.
In your case, you were blessed with 3 drums and a special flower. This is the will of the Lord. You must accept it and have faith. If you ever find yourself lost again, return to me at any time.
Patty, I'm curious. Do you have an instrument too?
Huh? Me? Of course not. Why would I ever want one of those stupid things? I'm fine just watching you adults play your silly little games.
Zack, the pressed flower we took from the bathroom ended up coming straight back to us.
Have you come seeking salvation? I'll be happy to guide you. Have you come seeking salvation? I'll be happy to guide you. May the Lord...
Hey, Agent York, what's next?
Fear not, Patty. Our next stop is that stylish woman's house. Her name is Helena Doman, and apparently she lives in this town.
What? You want to go meet her?
You know her?
Yeah. Everyone calls her Lena. Hey, how'd you figure out her name anyway? No one told you, right?
That's true. No one told me. Verbally, by pure chance, Zack and I happened to acquire this. We picked it up from the ground while the pastor was busy crying. Patty, this is a prescription for a female hormone medication, which means this person is undergoing hormone treatment. Understand? It's the Oracle. This is the ticket to the goddess that we were meant to find at the White Hall. I just remembered something that Melvin said to me in the holding cell. Professor R isn't exactly a normal woman, according to him. Now it all makes sense, Patty. Lena Doman is the stylish woman we've been searching for. Professor R in the flesh.
You know, Agent York, you might actually have some talent after all.
Yes, I'll be honest with you, Patty. Both Zach and I are extremely talented. So I hope you can trust us and continue working as our assistant. One lollipop, 2 lollipops, 3 lollipops. Don't. Zach, you're a coffee person, right? No sugar, only milk. Yes, I'm completely with you on that one. The address on the prescription led us to this house.
Seems like she ain't home. No lights on either. Professor R's never home, you know.
Patty, why do you know so much about Professor R?
I don't know that much, really.
But you're the first person in town who mentioned her name to me. You also knew about San Rouge, didn't you? And when I tried to ask you more about it back then, you gave me an evasive answer. You're my assistant, aren't you? If you are, then you need to tell me everything you know about this case.
Daddy don't like Lena. He said it's stupid for a man to want to turn into a woman.
What?
And he told me I ain't supposed to talk about her. He said that if you knew someone like her was living here, Agent York, you'd start to hate this town.
That's ridiculous. Why would I ever hate this town? Because one of its inhabitants is transgender? Why in the world would that make a difference to me?
The other folks in town said the same thing as Daddy. They all know about Saint Rouge and Professor R, and about how she's waging war against the Clarksons. But they all say we ain't supposed to talk about it. So,
And here I'd assumed that ignorant way of thinking died out with the 20th century. I guess I really am an outsider after all. I thought that everyone was cooperating with my investigation. But it turns out they were all hiding key information from me. Damn it, Zach. This just made me hate the countryside for the first time in my entire life. Oh, I'm sorry for being so loud, Patricia. But just remember this. A person's birthplace, nature, race, and physical features have no bearing on their value as a human being. We're always free, and we should respect each other just the way we are. So you shouldn't feel a need to hate Lena for no reason. No matter what the people around you say, you can't let them control you. Sometimes things like common sense and decency can end up deeply hurting other people. I sincerely hope you don't forget that.
Okay, I won't.
But if Lena's committed a crime, that's a different story altogether. She may be a social minority, but she's still free and capable of knowing the difference between right and wrong. Professor R. I sincerely hope she's smart enough to understand that.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Listen to the two ends and drink dry the firewater. Do this, and you will see the other world.
Zach, did you hear that? It's another oracle. I assume this means we're getting closer to the truth. Well, this is good. We don't have any other big clues at the moment. What do you say we continue the skeletal gentleman's game? After I spent the 90s listening to nothing but punk rock, I fell out of touch with music, but the two ends refer to neither periods nor a movie's credits. They refer to the last letter of the alphabet, Z. And what's a word that has two Z's in it? Jazz, of course. Remember, we're in Louisiana here. The firewater is even easier. It's alcohol. Let's go to that jazz bar and have a drink while we consider our next plan of action. Don't worry, this is all part of our job, isn't it, Zach?
Lucari Tiger to DC Eagle. Lucari Tiger to DC Eagle. Come in.
Oh, Daddy.
DC Eagle here. Got any news for me?
Well, Mr. York, we got ourselves a bit of a problem here.
What sort of problem?
Looks like Daniel's gathered up a group of people to help him find Galena's killer on his own. If the Clarksons get serious, they'll probably put an end to this case before we even know what hit us. And it sure won't be wrapped up the way you want it to, Mr. York.
Yes, that certainly is a problem. Judging from Daniel's temperament, things are bound to get out of control. Melvin, I need to find Professor R as soon as possible.
Professor R?
That's right.
That ain't such a good idea.
I didn't ask for your personal opinion, Melvin. Especially if it comes from an antiquated, xenophobic way of thinking that's characteristic of rural towns.
Whoa now, Mr. York. What's going on here? I didn't...
This conversation is over, Melvin. You need to figure out what the Clarksons are planning. Call me again as soon as you know.
Fine. Whatever you say.
Also, sorry, but would you mind coming to pick up Patricia? I would never think to take an innocent girl like her into an adult watering hole.
Yeah, you're right. CLG's still too young for that.
Wait, Daddy! Agent York! I'm going too! Don't leave me out of this!
No, Patricia. You signed a contract with me, remember? I promise to protect you from all the evil in our world.
That's not what it means!
Patty, you're smart. Shockingly so. But you're still a child. And there are certain things a child like you doesn't need to learn about yet. Just go home for today. Zach and I are both in agreement on this one. I'm so glad you understand, Patty. Okay, Melvin, that's that. I'm leaving her here. The rest is in your hands.
Roger that. I'll take care of her, Mr. York.
Hey, want to talk about bridges? Why? I've become obsessed with bridges, Zach, and there's no turning back now. Remember what we saw on our way here? Back when we were driving that hybrid car before we switched over to the skateboard. We passed over the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway, the longest bridge over water in the entire world. Remember the sudden downpour that made it impossible for us to see the road? The rain was so torrential that we couldn't see more than a few miles ahead of us. I'm sure local drivers are used to that sort of thing. They were all going normal speeds. I'll bet that scene reminded you of a certain film, or perhaps a certain person. Violent City, 1970, directed by Sergio Solima. I only ever saw it on TV when I was a kid, so I don't remember it very well. But I definitely remember that it featured a bridge, a long bridge. During the New Orleans part, that's the one thing I remember. That bridge must have been the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway, and the film starred Charles Bronson. Charles Bronson. What an amazing sound. You couldn't possibly find another man whose name matches his appearance so perfectly. Yes, of course I know that.